Hey guys, Erica here, ScrapDiva29. Welcome back to my channel. I'm coming on today to share with you a quick tutorial. One of my subscribers asked me to share how to create the shaker flower using this particular shaker flower die that I picked up from AliExpress. It looks like this, and she said that she was a little bit intimidated, wasn't really sure how to put it together, so I told her I would do a tutorial, and hopefully this will help some of you. And this is my way of sharing how I like to create my shakers. So let's get started. All right, so what you're gonna need is clearly a die set. You're gonna need your die cut machine, some sequins, your favorite adhesive. I use this glue, and then I also use my ATG gun, and I use this Silly Wonks, or Winks I should say, foam sheet. It's the 3mm, and you pick this up at Hobby Lobby. It's only 99 cents, and this is the thickness to give your shape a little bit of dimension and allow you to add your sequins. And I do use this particular tool as well. This is one of my favorite tools by Spellbinders. You may need this to poke out the tiny little pieces of paper when you die cut out your leaf. All right, so let's get started. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and start by cutting the flower and the base of the flower, which is this bigger die. There's two dies. You want the larger die. Place this flat on your die cutting machine, and you're gonna go ahead and pass it through. All right. So what you're gonna do is just pop it out. This is gonna be really pretty with this glitter paper. So you have your flower shape, and stick that back on the magnet, and then you have your base. So it will look like that. And then the next thing we'd wanna do is go ahead and die cut out the foam. So I've already pre-cut my foam. Just place your foam on, or your die on top of your foam, and go ahead and run it through your machine. On a side note, you should only run your die through one time with the foam, because if you run it back a second time, it can double cut and mess up the shape. So for whatever reason, I never run it through twice. I only do it once, and normally once works perfectly. So here you go. I have my foam, and I'm gonna put this off to the side. And the next thing that you're gonna need to die cut out will be these leaves, these two leaves, and the flower stem. Now I have already in advance cut these out for you to save time on the video, but as you can see, I have two foam pieces and then two deco pieces. So that's what you're gonna need. So go ahead and cut those out. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and move my die cut machine out of the way. And now we're gonna go ahead and assemble the flower. And I think I forgot to mention, you will need a sheet of acetate so that your sequins will not fall out. If you don't have any acetate paper, just go through your packaging from anything that you have that has plastic on it and run it through your die cut machine. And you'll need to use the bigger circle to die cut out the piece of plastic. One pass should cut it just fine, unless it's super thick packaging, or it just depends, but one pass should work. So here is the acetate sheet, which you will need, your foam, which I've got cut out, and you see how that lays just like that on top. See how I'm building my flower? This will go on top of this die, and we'll make it all perfect, and then this will be the bottom of the flower, if that makes sense. So we're gonna go ahead and start adhering things together and putting this flower together. And this is the other part that I did not share. This is the stem cut out of the foam and the deco paper. All right, and we're gonna glue all this together. I'm gonna show you how to put this together. All right, so first things first is we're going to put adhesive, and I just like to use this ATG gun. It's simple and it's permanent and it's quick. So I just go around the edge of my flower like so. And you want to try to get as close to the edge as possible with your ATG gun. And that looks good to me. As you can see, I went around the whole circle of the flower very easily. And next I'm going to take my, what am I taking next? My acetate, and I'm going to stick it right on top of the flower and just push down like so. And there you have that part of it. And then next you're going to want to adhere your foam. So the way that I do this is I just use this liquid glue right here. You can either use this liquid glue, or again, you can use your ATG. I think for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to go ahead and use ATG. If you decide to use a wet glue, you may want to just pause for a few minutes, put something on top that's heavy so that it can dry, sit there and dry, and then you want to come back to it to assemble it. But we're going to go ahead and get this flower together. So I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive on the back side of the flower. As you can see, this is the front and this would be the back. So I'm just going to add more ATG to this foam. And as you can see, it's very sticky. And you can do it like in little small sections like I'm doing. And then any ATG that's on the side, like in the circle, just move it up so that it's not in the way. And then all you want to do is line up your flower with the foam. You gotta make sure it's just right. Let's see if that's where it should be. And sometimes you may have to move the foam around. It is flexible. Make sure you have your die cut covered, you know, in the right place. All right, so next we want to add our sequins. So I just grabbed some sequins out of my stash, and I'm just gonna do like a random little mix. Here's some purple, since we're doing purple flower. I think that will be pretty. And I'll add some bigger purple sequins. And I'll add a few of these white ones. All right, I think that's good. Maybe I'll add just a tad more of the purple. All right, I think that looks great. All right, so now we want to cover up the sequence with the back of this, and make sure you use the side, you know, the decorative paper side that you've chosen for your flower. I don't want it to be this pattern, I want it to be this pattern, so it's going to lay flat like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the adhesive around the circle. And again, I'm just going to use this ATG tape and just do the edge of my circle. And I think I've got it. And then all I'm going to do is cover this up like so. And now you have your shaker flower. And as you can see, my foam is a little bit off, and that's okay. I'm not really sure what happened, but if you don't use the ATG, you can use the liquid glue and line it up so it doesn't stick right away, and that way you get a perfect alignment. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. So what I'm going to do now is take the stem and the deco piece of paper that I cut out, and I'm just going to glue them together. So I'm just going to stick a thin line of glue on this, not too much, and adhere this down, and you want to let it dry a minute. So just put it off to the side for a second, let that dry, and move on to your leaves. So next we'll do this sleeve right here. Again, just a little bit of glue. Just want enough to stick down your decorative paper. Stick that down like that. And put that down, let that dry a second. And now we're going to do the same thing with this leaf. Applying your adhesive. It's easy to use this like fine tip glue, or if you have a fine tip glue nozzle, that also works as well. But you're gonna have to get each little section of this so that the paper will adhere. And you may have to hold it like that to get the edges. All right, so now we're just gonna line it up, and it will line up like this. And there you have the second leaf, and that looks good to me. All right, so the next thing that you want to do is just adhere your stem to the back of your flower. I am going to suggest that you use a stronger glue. I mean, you can use this glue, but I probably recommend Fabri-Tac or something that is like a really fast, quick drying glue. But I'm going to go ahead and use the glue that I have brought down here. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this glue right here and attach it to my flower and just line it up. You just eyeball it and see exactly where you want it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere my leaves on to my flower, and I'm going to position them like so, like that. I think that looks good. You just kind of eyeball it to see where you think it would look best. So go ahead and take your adhesive and you just need a little bit. And then you're gonna lay your second leaf on like so. So just need a little bit of adhesive on one side of the leaf. Like that. And just press it down. And there you go. There you have your shaker flower. It does move around. Obviously you want to kind of let it sit and let the glue sit and let it dry. But there is the shaker flower. I hope this tutorial was helpful. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.